The madness of Cron.
His influence waning, Kron's propaganda grows more pathetic. Battle-hardened Navy units make their own decisions, fighting alongside fresh Leaguers. Kron has nothing to tell us anymore. He's finished.
It's amazing how far we've come.
Immediate target is the alien
Mertens used to have a pretty high opinion
Its
of the guy.
destruction would leave their main force unable to enter Boreas. You must transfer to the appropriate sector via a jump gate. You will then be required to eliminate the Webblock's defense forces before destroying the lock itself. Be aware that its security code will need to be broken before it can be destroyed.
So do you have any idea what this Webblock is?
Is it a big spider web put over the jump gate?
It's kind of like a web, but it's not a web.
That's all I can think of.
If that makes sense. Something about a security code. How do you think... you know what Colony Wars is. It's not like we get out of our ship and do anything.
Yeah. I'm assuming it's just a big giant rotary lock like you see on old-fashioned safes.
Sure safe. It's sure safe and a sure safe. So yeah, the same thing where you have to destroy 3 other ships before you actually get to the mission.
Right. That's the tax you pay to play the mission.
The tax.
Mm-hmm.
Hey, we have allies though. They're in Vegas too. It just ends. I like that.
Just okay. Go to real mission now.
Are you ready to find out what the Webblock is?
I was born ready to find out what a Webblock is.
Break Webblock security code. I'm gonna let you try to figure out exactly how this all comes together. I said the crystal disc was like the most gimmicky, or no, I think that was like the one. No, I don't even remember. This is pretty gimmicky though.
Whoa, okay. Oh, it's a Legend of Zelda N64 color matching puzzle. Good. It's Simon Says.
It is Simon Says.
Unbelievable.
When you put in the code that it is telling you, it loses a piece of the Webblock.
Uh-huh.
And it just adds 1 to the starting sequence.
This is so gimmicky. Amazing.
That wormhole is just grooving out. I don't even know what it's firing into it at all.
It's giving me a bit of motion sickness, I'll tell you that.
So when you do some damage to it, fighters jump in, and you know how I am about fighters.
Right. No time for them. Looks like it doesn't... Man, how many of these do we have to do?
A lot. This was about 2 minutes of sped up footage of doing the Webblock. If you screw up, you get zapped. And you don't want to get zapped, because there's still something after it, of course.
Right. Oh, what a pain if you've died on the something after it. Get to do this whole thing again.
The whole mission, yes. Alien Ace!
Oh, neat. I wish he talked to you. Oh, he is!
I shall enjoy this battle. You shall perish for violating our systems.
It's a good thing your auto-translator had an alien voice
It's a good thing we had a translator at all. I didn't know we were equipped with that.
Your strategies are, however, feeble.
What does that even mean? I just shot you a lot.
His ship moves so fast. Like he is bobbing and weaving every second.
I will allow you to die with honor.
Oh, so he's a Klingon.
Oh, good.
You can die with honor instead. Torpedo to the face.
Right. Bye.
Alien Webblock has been destroyed. Mission complete.
So the alien presence has been removed from Boreas now.
The sealing of the warp hole has removed the alien threat. All units are to be congratulated.
Everyone.
Diplomatic initiatives have produced a draft treaty with the League due to be ratified shortly. Navy Command recommend that this treaty is honored by all units. However, Commander Cron insists the struggle against the League should be a fight to the death. You will be informed.
Have we not arrested that guy? I mean...
No, it is called the Madness of
The
Cron.
Navy and the League are no longer at war.
Nice.
Cron, however, intends to fight on. He has reinstated the Watch, though only a few of his most fanatical followers remain loyal. They plan to fire a supergun at the sun
Wait,
to
what?
destroy the entire system. You must transfer via jump gate. reach
Last
the
video,
translation
we were like
from the
astonished by
transfer
planet
to that
destroying
location
ability, and Kron's
destroy
just
the gun
had
before
this
it
one
fires.
behind his back the whole time.
Well, it's not without precedent because we destroyed the sun in that bad ending, or he did.
Yeah.
This is Navy operations. We must stop Kron before he destroys us all. Transferring mission...
So I told you before we started recording that we were speculating on what the bad endings could be for this, like aliens
Sure.
taking over. But since the aliens have been defeated at the end of the Boreas system, and there's 3 acts that lead to the same bad ending, it does not in fact involve aliens. So the threat that, you know how the Navy's faced a certain threat in every system, like when we entered Galanire, we had no idea what we were going up against, and we had to be really careful lest their entire force walk right over us. So that was the bad ending there. Or if we get pushed back to Sol, the system gets destroyed. In Cronus, they were relying on the Widowmaker in an assassination attempt. And then in Alpha Centauri, they had the Watch and all of the spies. That would end up having the Navy eat its own tail, essentially. But in Boreas, it's hardly implied, but because of the aliens, both the League and the Navy are on the verge of total chaos because both League and Navy command staff are in this area. So losing that planet, like, they were trying to destroy that planet, which is where our HQ was, so we would have lost our command.
Big ol' anarchy, basically.
Potentially even Cron. And then, yeah, anarchy would consume the Navy, and most likely the League as well. So the bad ending is definitely an anarchic ending.
Sure. I guess Kron tries to just go out in a blaze of glory, and I guess he'll die in this whole affair too.
Well...
Unless he can go off system, I guess, before the gun goes off.
We are going to see that gun go off, by the way.
Of course we are. We're going to see the bad ending.
Yeah. And, we're going to see the sun get fucking destroyed, which is pretty awesome. That's right out of Free Space 2.
I like how the Kron loyalists don't have voodoos.
Yet.
Oh, do they get them?
There's one more mission after this, yeah.
Yeah.
It's still the Diablo. That thing's still pretty tough.
Yeah, that's alright.
There's also a gold-plated one over there, the Loyalist Ace.
That's awesome. I thought we blew up all those back when we disbanded the Watch. Guess he kept one.
Yeah, he kept the last gold-plated Diablo.
No. Put his Ace in it. So the Ace is just faster, more accurate, more durable. Nothing unusual besides that.
Perhaps he just has a name. I don't know, he still feels like the same as these guys to me.
It's kind of a shame that you don't get to see the other Aces more returning. It was just the Widowmaker. The alien guy comes and goes in a single mission.
Yeah, no one really survives. Merton just kills them all.
Good job, Mertens.
And our allies just kind of leave after a while.
Yeah.
Because, it's not like we need the help destroying that supergun or anything that's going to kill us all.
It's Mertens. He kills everything. He's got it. You don't need to worry. Bye, Ace. He honestly didn't seem any harder than the other Diablos.
No, he wasn't. So the supergun only appears at a minute in, a minute before it fires.
So you, just...
Supergun will fire in 1 minute.
Well,
there it is.
It jumps in, proving that we could have jumped our own in the last mission.
Sure, right.
This is not the smart way to handle it. You can actually shoot the, there's like those little wings that are going to extend. I think if you shoot them all off, it'll blow up, but, I kind of just smash my face in every wall possible and I win.
I understand. You just fire all your guns as fast as you can and then you win.
It's that Colony Wars 1 habit coming back to bite me.
Yeah, I saw you added shields down about 37 seconds remaining, so
it still has a lot of hull though.
Sure, but unless it's got a lot more hull than it had shields.
I think so, actually.
We'll find out. No, not really.
Beautiful.
Only took you about 20 seconds to take down the hull.
Mission complete. Opening jump gate.
I like...
sort of whiff there.
Boreas has left him enraged. His whereabouts are currently unknown,
Enraged.
Yeah, I'm enraged every time I fail to destroy a star system.
He remains extremely dangerous.
Yeah, because I would
He
kill
is
the
committed
League
to
off.
destroying the League and all those he regards as traitors.
So let's see what happens when you do not stop his supergun.
Alright. This is where Mertens just sits on his hands for a minute.
Or if you can't destroy the loyalists in time. There we go. Uh-oh.
Here it goes. Hooray! Some sort of geometry glitching in there.
Whoa.
That shockwave flew about
Really
four
fast.
times the speed of light.
Yeah. That is what
Good
happens.
job, Kron. I always knew you had it in you.
Within the hour, Boreas will be destroyed. Only isolated pockets of Navy and League personnel remain. It is unclear who is in control. We have reports of violent struggles across all sectors.
The Navy and the League have
All
collapsed.
personnel receiving this transmission are urged to beware of rogue units. Your safety is your own concern.
No.
You should not expect to receive further broadcasts.
Oh, what a downer.
Long before the Sol warp hole was sealed, Cron fought for the League. Their leader, the Father, despaired of Kron's brutal methods and sacrificed him in the final mission against our ancestors. Or so he thought. Kron's anger stayed with him all that time. Uniting Sol. We thought we were fighting for a future. We were wrong. It was all a vendetta. Kron's against the Father. Now there is no victory. I hear a familiar sound approaching. Civil War.
Well, it's a good thing that didn't happen.
Yeah, thank goodness.
Kron has been sighted attempting to leave the Boreas
It's all
system
just a
in his
dream.
personal
Mertens
command
had in his
craft.
space snuggie.
A small personal guard and fleet
The
remains
Snuggie.
with him. You are required to pursue Kron and eliminate him.
Yup. So yeah, the Navy and the League collapse, and then, without any form of government, and
Sure.
perhaps realizing the truth, all of Sol and... It's hard to call them all the Navy, because they're not all the Navy, it's just the Steel
Sure,
Force.
right.
But Sol falls apart again.
Not be allowed to survive.
And God knows what happens across the rest of the systems that the League controlled without them.
Yeah, it'd probably all become their own little feudal states or something.
Yeah, because the League High Command is in Boreas, which was just
Sure.
destroyed.
So whatever the local governors are, I guess they just rule their own planets and whatever government they take over.
It's kind of like Star Wars, when everybody just kind of like... When the Empire fell and whoever had a Star Destroyer was like, I'm in charge now, so I'm just going to take
Yeah,
this
right.
planet. Except
Yeah.
way worse, because there's no Rebel Alliance to stop them.
Right. That was pretty fast. Oh, here it is.
Yeah,
Kron's
I
command
cut out
craft.
some of the loyalist
Sure.
fighters, because, oh my god, fighters.
We've seen that, yeah.
Fighters. Kron launching.
Oh, Kron himself.
Yes.
Neat.
The objective is to kill him.
And he's exiting via jump gate. Do we follow him for part 2 of the mission?
Yup.
And there we go.
Scans indicate target has left system via jump gate.
If you destroy that ship too fast, he won't launch and it'll break.
Sure.
Opening jump gate.
There is some cut dialogue from this mission, in fact, where Mertens is talking to the Navy fleet and how they're all chasing him, but it's just Mertens in this case.
No.
Because that was cut.
Okay.
That really sucks. I would have loved to see like the Navy and perhaps the League, fighting against Kron and his loyalists.
Yeah.
A big old fleet battle, perhaps in a cutscene even. That'd be fine. But we don't. It's just Mertens gonna go kill him.
Ran out of space on the disc or something, I guess.
Kill Kron.
There it is. I always knew that Kron wasn't going to outlive this game, but I'm glad to see that it's us killing him.
Don't make me kill you. Join me. Finish the
I just blew up your capital ship, dude.
You used us for your own plans.
wrong. Believe me, I had no choice. I was a pawn in the League's strategy. They left me to rot.
I had no choice but to attempt to destroy an entire star system.
This is okay. So we were talking about in the thread how because some people have said that perhaps this game takes place 100 years later from the first game. What they threw out all of the lore, such as anti-age and how the jump gates actually work, So Kron
Sure.
would not be around in 100 years. No way. Because he would have to be pretty... he'd have to be at least in his 20s or 30s by the time he was actually fighting the League then.
Sure, right.
But
Especially if he was in some position of authority.
Yeah, well, he was apparently a fighter pilot. And, in the cutscenes we've seen Kron, he definitely looks like he's in his 50s or 60s. He's got, like, the short
Right.
gray hair. He's got wrinkles. So, 20 or 30 years later makes sense because he could be 60 years old by this point.
Right.
And I say that it can't be 100 years later because they kind of just threw out all the lore, and there's no... And, if they threw out all the lore, and... The only time we even heard about the anti-age was on the Earth description for the system info.
Sure.
There's only one way to finish this, by the way.
Mm-hmm.
It took a while, but I do get it.
Good. We're gonna ram him. Whoop.
No, we're going to hit him with a torpedo. So yeah, I say it has to be 20 to 30 years later because Kron would not have been around, therefore Sol
Sure.
would not have been revived.
This does not seem a very difficult dogfight.
No, it's not.
Okay.
Kron's death has been verified. Navy Command can
By
therefore
500
confirm the
different
official
camera
cessation
shots.
of all hostilities. Your actions are to be congratulated. Peace is your reward.
I know another reward I would like.
No further
I know another
raids
reward
will
I would
follow.
like from her.
He's dead. Kron, my leader. I killed him. No regrets. Everything I believed in has been proven a lie. The League tells me that Kron was once one of them. He was deemed unstable and twisted. A liability. The Father arranged for him to be sent on the final mission against our ancestors, expecting him to die. All that Kron did to unite and resurrect Sol had been for one purpose, and one purpose alone: kill the Father. We were never a force for freedom. Now he is dead. It seems we may have found freedom after all.
So ends vengeance. Now we know what the vengeance was, Kron's.
Mm-hmm.
It's pretty impressive how much he was able to accomplish all for it, too.
Yeah. Good job, Kron. You lived your dream. Sort of.
You didn't get to blow up a sun or anything.
No. You came real close. Closer than most people.
So, vengeance, what do you think after the first game?
Well, it's certainly, as you said, an improvement in basically every area. The plot is far more coherent, and the plot is not even particularly coherent, but it's more so, for sure. I will say I kind of liked the progressively better bad endings system of Colony Wars 1, but the bad endings in this made more sense, really, given the movement of the plot
And
at the
the
time.
general state of the Navy.
As you said near the end, they're constantly dropping kind of important things like, where's all the aliens? I guess we don't care about them. We blew up their fleet and that's it. They'll never come back, I guess. Anyway, but the graphics are better, the gameplay is far better. I know you cut out a lot of the samey stuff, but that looked like stuff that would be samey to watch, not to play. So all in all, it's a heck of an improvement, especially to fit on such a limited data space.
So do you have any idea what Colony Wars Red Sun could be about? Do you have anything you want to speculate on that before I tell you exactly what it is?
Not really. Red Sun doesn't mean much to me. Unless it's communism. I kind of wish it was.
It takes place because, space is big and there's lots of people living in space. So
Correct.
You are not League or Navy. You become a random guy who is contacted by a guy known as the General. And you need to go find the ship called the Red Sun because apparently it's going to do something really bad and you got to stop it.
Okay.
I want to point out that guy's name is LOL, by the way. I just needed to pause there for that. So
Sorry, guys.
it takes place at the same time as Vengeance. except it's happening like the midpoint of the war, as perhaps when Kron's just leaving Cronus.
Okay.
You were a guy named Valdemar, and you were like once a space miner, and so you get to buy your own ships. It's basically privateer console version. You
Sure.
can buy your own ships. You take on a bunch of missions, and you fly to a bunch of different systems. After that, you got to do like an interim mission. But there's no more League and Navy. I think you fight like some of their fighters in some missions, but there's a lot more planet missions, fully orchestral soundtrack, even better graphics. Unfortunately, the briefing lady from this game doesn't return.
Yes, well, at least you'll just have to live without her, I guess.
I will post there was some developer commentary from Psygnosis back in the 90s when they were releasing Red Sun.
Mm-hmm.
So I will post that.
Okay.
But essentially, yeah, you are doing something next to the plot, because Colony Wars Vengeance, this is when the game actually ends. The League and the Navy have finally, come to peace.
Mm-hmm.
Because the League was just trying to defend themselves. They were not the bad guys. They may have become decadent, but really we were the aggressors, and we were doing it under false pretenses.
Sure.
So now that the truth has all come out, they can finally start building bridges. And since the Empire's long gone, there's no reason they can't do that.
Mm-hmm. Put gold plating on all our ships now.
Yes.
So in Red is the Red Sun the ship some sort? Is it affiliated with either League or Navy, or is it just?
No, it is definitely a special ship.
All right.
And you know how we were saying about how asteroids are just kind of like really far apart from each other usually? There's still an amazing cutscene coming up in Red Sun that you were gonna love.
Oh, good.
Oh man, and it's part of a mission too.
Mm-hmm.
It's the most ultimate asteroid field. Well, I will get that ready at some point.
Very
Probably
good.
next week. Like the Monday not coming up. So
I hope you all have enjoyed this look at a strange old space shooter. It's a very personal look at it. There's a lot of like homeworld and grand scale stuff, but I like the perspective. The one pilot perspective. It's a nice touch.
I love the cutscenes.
Yeah.
Cutscenes are definitely my favorite part.
I hope you enjoyed it. You can take a break, snuggle into your space snuggies, wait for
Lol Scrag to produce Red Sun.
Lol Scrag to come out of retirement.
All right.
Good night, everybody.
I've been Loon, and Commander Jeff are here. There you go. I didn't forget that.